Welcome back, and today we are here with more Broadway grosses, and we have some very interesting developments, so let's get into it. So we have and Juliet, which went from 95% capacity this week, and 919K last week to 983K this week, which is a step in the right direction. However, I did look at sales for and Juliet for this upcoming week, and it's looking pretty bad. I don't know what happened with this. It kind of like was here, and now it's here. And big musicals like this do that all the time. But it's very interesting that and Juliet was at such a high in the summer, and now it has fallen so significantly. And there are shows that fall from like 1,156K or 1,156 to like 1,000,089, whatever. You know, so for it to fall this significantly is concerning. And I would keep my eye on it, but it's not going to close anytime soon. You know, I mean, it's still doing fantastic numbers. It's just very interesting that it fell this drastically in such a short period of time. I would compare it to a musical that was on steroids, then it came off the steroids, and it's going to take a little bit of time until it gets back on steroids. And I think I say that word weirdly, but anyways, Beautiful Noise, A Beautiful Noise and Juliet kind of switched their fortunes. You know, Beautiful Noise went from 1 million to 985K and 84% capacity, you know, and this is the best it's done since, like, before the summer began. And that new schedule seems to work, those matinee shows. And I'm wondering, is those matinee shows stealing audiences from and Juliet? Because those are two very popular jukebox musicals, and while they have two different audiences in terms of ages, and Juliet is more kind of pop, more current music, they do share similar audiences. And I wonder if that's what's happening. But good for Beautiful Noise, man. They could make it past January. I like being incorrect. I don't like musicals closing. I want everything to succeed. So hopefully it doesn't close in January. Back to the Future went from 1,079,605 to 1,095,420. And 96% capacity, which again is an incredible week for Back to the Future. It's doing awesome numbers like it always does. Gutenberg had 3 performances and 376K in the bank and 96% capacity, a pretty decent start, and that is a limited engagement through, I believe, the beginning of next year. So it doesn't matter how good or bad it does, but I think it will do solid numbers. Poor old Hadestown, going from 670K to 671K and 97% capacity. Again, I cannot stress this enough, Hadestown is in danger of closing. These are not good numbers for Hadestown or any musical to do. Anything below 700K is not good, you know, and even when you're in the 700K range, like, anything below 750, realistically, isn't even that good. And it's done these numbers for over 5 weeks now, and even with the addition of Betty Who, it's not helping sales. And again, it is not the most expensive musical to run every week, and again, 671K is not, like, the worst it can do, but, like, it's a pretty low number. And if you know Broadway business and you know past musicals, when we tend to see this trend of 6s and 7s, these musicals tend to close within a year or two. And so I'm just basing this off of past musicals that have done similar business. I'm not just doing this because I want Hadestown to close and I don't like it. I want it to be on Broadway for as long as Phantom, but I just don't think that's going to happen. Hamilton went from 1,746,638 to 1,708,507 and 100%. Kimbo, Here Lies Love went from 604K to 634K and 85% capacity, which again is not good. It's doing terrible. Here Lies Love is in danger of closing any day now. And I looked at sales for next week when the new pop star comes in, and it's not like a huge improvement. So, like, I really don't know what's happening, but, like, the alarm bells are sounding, you know, woo, woo, woo. It's not doing well. Kimberly at Kimbo went from 587K to 588K and 88%. Again, it's doing pretty subpar numbers for a Best Musical winner. I predict it will close in January. Moulin Rouge went from 1,204,651 to 1,211,552 and 98% capacity, doing very solid numbers. And then we have Shucked, which went from 699K to 742K and 90% capacity. And again, Shucked has surprisingly done very well. I mean, it's doing better than Kimbo. There's a comment that someone posted on a previous video of mine that I'll put right here, a screenshot of it, that I think perfectly summarizes why Shucked is doing better than a Kimbo. But if it can maintain 7s and 8s and the occasional 6, it could make it past January. In fact, I think it will. And if you look at the summer, it did pretty solid numbers. And again, 742K isn't amazing, but again, it is a step in the right direction, and it is in the safe zone, albeit, you know, it's still not doing amazing, but it is in the safe zone for right now. I think if Shuck does 6 past, if in the next month it goes to 600 consistently, it's probably going to close. But if it can maintain a 700K plus average, it will be fine. Same with Some Like It Hot, which went from 797K to 823K and 79% of seats filled. Yeah, the capacity isn't great, but guess what? It's the best-selling new musical of this past season. It made $1 million for 3 weeks. I think it might have done just enough good business in the summer to sustain a fall decrease and a potential for it to stay open past the beginning of next year, and I think it will. But again, if the next month or so will give us a good data on if it does or not, because, you know, right now, it's still, things are a little uncertain, but if it can make it past October, then it's in the safe zone, because then you got Thanksgiving, got Christmas, and it'll be fine. 6 went from 838K to 848K and 94% of seats filled, and that's solid business. And then to finish it off, Sweeney went from 1,593,122 to 855K, and that's 98% of seats filled. Josh Groban was out, and then they had 6 performances instead of 7 because the technical malfunction, and they had a concert. So not much to put stock in there. Overall, a pretty solid week for most musicals. Some interesting developments with & Juliet, A Beautiful Noise, Here Lies Love, Kimbo, Could, Shucked, and Some Like It Hot have turned their fortunes around. And will they stick around? Let me know what you think in the comments down below. Let me know what you think. And this once again goes to prove that Broadway is just as unreliable and just as unexpected as life. Or really my love life. No, I'm just kidding. So yeah, so let me know what you think, and see you next week. Peace.